All right, welcome back, everyone, to Game 2 of this doubleheader. Central Penn took Game 1 of this doubleheader with a 7-3 victory. So we are looking for a sweep here out of Central Penn. On the mound for the Knights today, for Game 2 is Cam Smiley. Steve, your thoughts?
Cam Smiley's been solid. He's had 8 appearances, all of them starts. He's 3-2 on the year. His ERA is 3.35, and he's got 35 strikeouts in 43 innings.
So we are looking for another great outing from Smiley. And Smiley also had a one-hitter this year too, didn't he, Steve? He had a couple of complete games too.
Yeah, he's been solid all year for the most part. He's given up 46 hits in 43 innings.
Count easily goes to 1-1. Sam Majid is leading off for Bucks Community College. Pretty much the same lineup for Bucks County as in Game 1. So Cam got him down to 1-2 here. The pitch inside and back at us.
Now we got a combination of wind and foul balls playing with the cameras.
And look at the cameras held strong for battle number 1. So hopefully we have it fixed better for Game 2 for you, everyone viewing the game. The pitch outside runs the count even to 2-2. Still beautiful out, 75 degrees. So if you're in the area, come to the ballpark and check out Game 2. Still have a great crowd on hand here, Steve.
I'm glad I brought my suntan lotion this time.
That's reached out to right. McCoy gives it a look, but goes out of play behind the wall.
The wind has definitely picked up here in Game 2, though, Parker. I'd say we've got probably at least 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing. The flag's blowing from right to left. Owen Zell had a long run over there, too, going after that foul ball. So he's just getting back into his position there at second base.
The 2-2 pitch from Smiley. Ooh, just a bit high, according to the home plate umpire.
Close pitch.
So it runs the count to full. It was not a bad pitch, though, Steve.
It was not. And as we said in Game 1, you want to keep this guy off the base.
Swing and a miss for a strikeout by Smiley for his first of the game.
And that's a good way to do it.
So that'll bring number 5 to the plate, Chris Ortlip.
Yeah, Ortlip didn't play in Game 1, but he's had 80 at-bats on the season, played in 24 games, hitting .338 coming in with 1 home run and 24 RBIs. And again, if you weren't with us in Game 1, we have Bucks County statistics up to Tuesday. They did have a game on Tuesday. We don't have those statistics, but we do know that they won 12-9.
Big cut by Ortlip to run the count even to 1-1. That's going to be a topper to Smith Cole. This is going to be a tough play, Steve, and it is. It bobbles it out and out of the glove. So that puts a runner on for Bucks Community.
If he had fielded it cleanly, he might have had a shot, but it was going to be a close play at first. So he needed to rush that throw and just wasn't able to quite field it cleanly.
And they scored that as an error. On the mound for Bucks County today is Isaac Galarza will be pitching for them. And that's ripped down right. McCoy almost gloved that. That would have been a nice play.
Because McCoy was holding the back. McCoy now is holding his chest.
So the stat line for Isaac Galarza, the pitcher for Bucks County, he has 12 appearances, 8 games started. He's 4-2 of the year, 43 in the third innings pitched, 15 earned runs allowed for an ERA of 3.12. So he's definitely one of the better pitchers for Bucks County's pitching staff, Steve. The pitch. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Runs the count 0-2. Smiley gets his pitch. The 0-2. High. They look back the runner to first. And we know from last game, Steve, we know Boyd behind the plate has an arm. Smiley gives a look over to first. 1-2 pitch. Reaching, fouls it off just to the side of us here to the left. So we'll do it again at 1-2.
see many catchers in the major leagues catching doubleheaders these days. Of course, we are only playing 7 here, but still, it's a long day.
1-2 pitch again. Swing and a miss for another strikeout. Make that 2 of the day. And that's a big strikeout, too, Steve, because that was Bucks County's power hitter, Vogelvich, who brought in 2 RBIs last game.
Yeah, their leading RBI guy with 41 up through Tuesday.
So that'll bring Frank to the dish. Pitch. Outside and low.
Frank only with 27 RBIs.
Still good RBI count, though, for Bucks County's offense. If they could get going, they could do some damage. But we have Smiley on the mound going today, Steve, so definitely be hard to figure Smiley out because he is a great pitcher. Counts even at 1-1 with 2 outs. Pitch. Foul to the right of us here.
One and 2 now with 2 outs.
Hey, you need a shoulder massage.
Count 1-2 to Frank. Smiley gets his sign. The delivery. Low, so runs the count to 2-2.
Ortlieb with 5 stolen bases on the air, so it'll be interesting to see if he tries to take off here with 2 strikes and 2 outs.
2-2. On the outside corner, called strike 3. So Smiley, 3 strikeouts here in the first inning. They got a runner on, but nothing to worry about as Smiley gets out of the first inning.
With Weis to Go, Weis Markets will do the shopping for you. Shop for your favorite products online or on the app anytime and anywhere. Then choose to pick up your groceries curbside or have them delivered to your house. Visit wisemarkets.com/shop for more information.
We'll take a short break. We'll be back with you with the Knights. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the first. Rose and Steve Hassinger with you here on the call. Same lineup for the Knights here. Owen Zell leading off. It'll be Zell, Boyd, Thomas due up for the Knights here. And then you probably have Joseph, Kaufman, McCoy. Lowen is the only change in this game. Brent, and then rounding out is Smith Cole. First pitch high to Zell for a ball.
And in game one, it took the Knights 3 innings to get the bats going, so let's see if we can start it a little bit earlier here in game 2.
What we talk about all the time, Steve, Owen Zell getting on base is dangerous for any pitcher. Even when he gets a short pitch in the dirt down on the goal, makes plays at first. And he also hits the ball very hard on the ground, too. So always makes it difficult to try to get him out at first. Shows bunt off the corner, so runs the count to 2-1.
No, and did start the hitting in game 1 with a bunt single.
Two-one pitch. Big cut by Zell. Swing and a miss. Runs the count to 2-2.
Isaac Galarza on the mound here for Bucks County in game 2. This is his 13th appearance. He's had 8 starts, a 4-2 record with a 3.12 ERA.
So definitely has a good ERA and one of the better pitchers for Bucks County. Shot high and Zell holds back, so runs the count full.
And Galarza has 56 strikeouts in 43 and a third innings, so averaging 11.63 strikeouts per 9.
But he walks Zell, and just like that, Knights are in business with speed on the base pad. So let's see how quick until Zell gets in motion, Steve. We know the Knights are very aggressive on the base pad. Tanner Boyd had a good first game, Steve. Threw a runner out at second. Got on base by the walk-up. He was hit by a pitch in game 1.
Yeah, he was in some
Showing
pain.
bunt, and that's a good bunt. So that'll give Zell at least second. Zell over his head, so that's going to take Zell to third. Keeping them so errors for the Bucks County fielders. That will give runners at scoring position with no outs for the Knights. The Knights could do some damage here early, Steve.
Yeah, and again, with the speed of Zell, you don't have to get it out of the infield to create problems. And again, we're going to see a courtesy runner here for Boyd, which we've been seeing lately. Williams is going to run for him.
Williams has some good speed, so if Thomas could put one in the gap here, the Knights are sure going to put 2 on the board early. But regardless, they're going to play the defense in here. So even a little bloop in the brain to the outfield will bring in 2. Just off, according to the home plate umpire, and the Lars on the mound did not like that call.
And Parker, the infield positioning here tells me a lot about their respect for Cam Smiley as a pitcher.
For sure. Well, we seen it last game, too, with Wyatt Kozer, too, Steve. There's numerous occasions Bucks County playing the defense in. So they definitely know that they're going to have their work cut out. Thomas has the count 1-1. The pitch on the outside corner runs the count to 1-2. We have Joseph on deck. Whoa, that's a shot to left. David Thomas has gone. That's a 3-0 lead. You put it on the board there. David Thomas with a 3-run home run.
Nice jump to a quick 3-0 lead on Thomas's second home run of the year.
Showing off some power that we used to see with like Chris Rosario there, Steve, back in the day.
That ball is hitting the Ollie's cheap seats. Ollie's, good stuff cheap.
3:25 down the line here at FMB Field.
That was a shot, and that will ignite the Knights' offense, and that will definitely help Cam Smiley come out for the second inning. So just like that, the Knights are up 3-0. We talked about Galarza's ERA, but the Knights got to him early with giving a 3-run lead already. Now, granted, 2 of the runs are earned because the one was an error, but still, Knights doing damage early. That brings Nick Joseph to the plate. He's ahead of the count 1-0. Outside and low. So Galarza having a hard time finding the strike zone.
Galarza giving up 3.12 runs per game, and he's giving up 3 here in the first with nobody out.
Good cut contact back at the net. Camera stays alive. 2-1. Another big cut. That's going to the parking lot. Steve, your car okay out there?
It is, because I parked much further away today than I normally do.
So did I. Count even at 2-2. Larson shakes off his catcher, gets a sign. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, runs the count full to 3-2. And we have Gabe Kaufman on deck for the Knights. Knights still in business here, 3-2 and no outs. So Knights could bust this game open. 3-2 pitch. Grounder to third. This is going to be a tough play. Safe! In and out of the glove of the first baseman, so the Knights get another one on base.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that Austin Frank decided to field that ball. It would have gone foul if he hadn't, and it was going to be a tough play. Although he would have had him if the first baseman had held on to the throw.
So we're going to score that E1, Steve, or do you think they're going to give a hit?
That's a tough play. I don't know. I might give him a hit.
I'm already saying I was going to field it as a hit, but I want to. All right, Gabe Kaufman here. Gabe Kaufman, an RBI machine as well. Strike on the corner called. Strike on the corner. Runs the count to 0-2. Struck him out. Kaufman, big cut, but got him down on strikes.
Number 43, Tanner McCoy.
That brings Tanner McCoy to the plate with one out and the runner on first. Pitch. Runner goes. Safe. It goes in the outfield. Joseph's going to go to third, so now we have a runner in scoring position with one out. Head first slide.
Diving into third there and almost took out the third baseman, and the throw didn't even come over to third.
So Tanner McCoy now has an RBI opportunity here with just one out. Might be still in game one, Steve. So would that bring? So Knights get a score on the pass ball. Big cut by McCoy. So the count's 2-1 to McCoy. With one out, Knights have a 4-0 lead. 2-1 pitch. Outside, runs the count to 3-1. Count 3-1. Pitch. High, so that puts Tanner McCoy on base with a walk. The Knights are definitely in business here. Right away, we have the pitching coach going out for a mound visit to try to calm down his pitcher for Bucks County. We're going to take a short break here. The Knights up 4-0.
number 7.
All right, we're back here after the mound visit. That brings up Ryan Lowen to the plate. Ryan Lowen's batting 138 for the year. Shows bunt, and it's a bunt. Fielded by the pitcher. And he's saved. So just a hustle down the line, and just a floater. And they're not paying attention. McCoy's going to third. And he's safe, so now you got runners at the corners with just one out. One heads up base right by Tanner McCoy.
This ain't Manor care. Manor. Don't get thrown now.
So some bad defense by Bucks County that just flew it over there, and Lowen reaches on the air.
Kyle Brent.
Oh, I had to step away for a minute there, Parker, and I don't know what was going on there. I don't know why the pitcher just lobbed
just
the throw
floated over, and Lowen wasn't fully hustling, like he was going for a sacrifice, and he got in there. We already have 3 errors for Bucks County, Steve, here in the first inning. Knights still in business here with only 1 out, and there he goes. Lowen's going, and McCoy's going home. Safe at first, second. Out at home though. So that's heads up playing by Bucks County to not tag Lowen at second and throw McCoy out at third, or at home, my correction.
Yeah, McCoy came in standing up. I think even if he'd slid, though, he probably would have been out.
That gets away, so Lowen's going to go to third. So, the DH, Kyle Brent is up the bat with 2 balls and no strikes ahead in the count with Smith Cole on deck. And we have a chance, Steve. If Brent and Smith Cole can get on base, we will bat around to the first inning. Oh, and that hit him.
Yeah, that hit solid, too.
Let's just hope Brent's okay. He's getting up, so that's a good sign. We're going to
on the wrong thing, just something else.
All right, we're back here. David Brent, thankfully, is okay after that scary hit towards the face. So Knights have runner on first and third for Smith Cole up the bat.
Yeah, Kyle shook that off. It seems like it caught mostly helmet, fortunately.
I think the chin guard stopped it too, Steve. So those chin guards definitely. Smith Cole taking all the way there, stepped out of the batter's box before the catcher caught the ball there, Steve. Runs the count to 0-1 to Smith Cole. Zell due up. In low. Gets away a bit, but no one advances. And early on in the game, Bucks County already has a pitcher warming up quickly. So
A good job by the catcher there to keep that ball in front of him, or the run would have scored from third.
1-1 is the count. The pitch. Smith Cole, a surprise bunt, and pops it way up back here foul. That was a power bunt there, Steve.
Back right over our heads.
For a souvenir for a lucky fan in the attendance. So it runs a count 1-2 for Smith Cole.
Probably not going to try to bunt again with 2 strikes on him now.
Wow, they got him. No throw, but they got Lowen in the rundown. And they missed him. Oh, they were through. So heads up by Brent at first to draw the attention to try to get Lowen home. But it all works out because now they got 2 in scoring position, Steve.
Yeah, Lowen got back. They just didn't execute that pick off very well.
And error is already the name of the game for Bucks County, as this first inning has not been a clean inning for them. Already 3 errors. course, you had the home run by Thomas. Reaching.
Playing havoc with our camera again, but it doesn't seem to have done too much
just
damage.
A little bit, but not too much. Smith Cole eager to get a base hit here to help loosen up the lead. So the count's 1-2 to Smith Cole with Zell on deck. So regardless what happens, we will have the top of the order start next inning. High. Curveball just did not come down, so runs to count 2-2. Two-two pitch. Reaches a swinging bunt there. This is going to be a tough play with his speed, but they make the play. But that's before the Knights put up 4 this inning, Steve. So the Knights helped us up and give Smiley a lead to come out and pitch to second.
Good start for the Knights here in Game 2. Weis Markets is proud to be an American-owned and operated company since 1912. We make our own ice cream and source our milk locally in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. Weis Markets also has its own meat processing plant in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. We keep our operations local to ensure great, fresh, Weis quality products for our customers.
We're going to take a short break here, and we'll be back with Cam Smiley coming.
Number 2, Alex Fantaski.
All right, we're back with you here for the second inning. Alex Fantaski leading off of Bucks County Community College. I think Fantaski was not in last game, but he has 27 games, 49 at-bats with a .265 average.
Fantaski did get some playing time last game, though. Yeah, because I remember saying that it was the name of my 7th grade math teacher.
That's right. I do remember that scene. My apologies, everyone. Pitch that looked like a strike, but it might have been high according to home plate umpire. So the count goes to 1-0. Wind helped move our camera back up a little bit. Focus. Pitch. Inside. Almost hit him.
That missed everything.
Count goes to 2-0 here.
It missed Boyd, it missed the umpire, it missed the batter.
2-0 pitch from Smiley. Looking for the inside corner there, but just 2 in. So the count's 3-0 here, so. Pitch from Smiley. Batter taking all the way, stepped out of the box before the pitch reached.
Yeah, and if you're down 4-0 early on here, with nobody out, you just want to try to get a base runner or two.
They won the Smiley, walked him. So that puts a runner on for Bucks County with a leadoff walk. So Ruggiero to the plate.
And for Cam now, you know he wants to come out and get a shutdown inning here after his team has given him 4 runs. You want to keep that momentum on your side.
Absolutely, Steve. You hit the nail on the head with that. Pitch. Strike taken. Low in the zone was a good location for pitch number 1.
We haven't seen a double play all day, Parker.
We have not. I did notice that. Pop up. Zell's calling for it. Back a few steps, and he got it for the out. So after allowing the walk, Smiley gets a quick out here for the first out of the inning. So I'll bring Ty Pan to the plate.
Number 33, Ty Pan.
strike. He reaches that. That's gonna get down in there. Bucks County holds their runners. I'm actually surprised they didn't send him there from second to third, Steve, with them being down 4.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be first and third, but good job there to get over and cut that ball off and get to throw in quickly.
Hey, John, it's all on you now.
But I guess they hold him because of the respect of the arm out in right field.
No pressure, John.
With Kaufman's arm, they didn't want to test it maybe. So that brings Mulder to the plate. Pitch from Smiley. Big cut swing and a miss for strike 1. The umpire calls time.
Batting number 21, John Mulder.
Mulder, another guy with a ton of RBIs. He has 25 RBIs.
Pop out of play to the right side here.
Hey, John, no pressure. You're on 2 strikes. No pressure, John, but everyone's watching you now. Give him the heater.
Counts
John,
0-2.
he's going to step up in the box.
1 out. Pitch. Swing and bunt goes foul. Counts 0-2 to Mulder.
Defensive swing there by Mulder.
You're trying to stay alive, protecting with being 0-2. Smiley gets a sign, the 0-2 pitch. Outside, runs to count to 1-2. 1 out. Bucks County has runners on first and second. With the time runs on deck if Mulder could get on here. Pitch from Smiley. Swing and a miss. He gets into the strike.
Number 44, Jaden Najah.
So already in the second inning here, Smiley already has 4 strikeouts today, Steve.
Yeah, struck out the side in the first inning.
So that brings up Jaden, his age. Pitch. Tried to get the call on the outside, but the ump said 2 out. He tried to frame it as well. Counts 1-0. Pitch. Too low, according to the home plate umpire. Runs the count to 2-0.
Temperature up to 76 degrees this afternoon.
Definitely a beautiful day at the ballpark. 2-0 count. Pitch. Gordon high. So runs the count to 3-0. I think Smiley wanted that pitch there, Steve.
Yeah, in danger of loading the bases now with 2 outs.
And puts the tie and run coming to the plate.
See if the batter takes a pitch here.
Pitch. Walked him on 4 straight pitches. Smiley was asking where that pitch was. It looked like it clinged the corner. Up early, definitely squeezing the corner, Steve.
Yeah, the umpire here in game 2, a little tighter strike zone than the umpire in game 1.
So that puts the bases loaded here. Flips the order to Sammy Nazai. With Smiley still ground ball away to get out of this inning. Called in it for a strike. And Nazai, his last at bat, struck out. 0-1 pitch. Big hack, swing, and a miss for strike 2.
See what Cam comes here with 2 strikes. You don't want to give him anything too good to hit, but you also have to be careful that you don't get a ball in the dirt.
Absolutely.
Let that run score from third.
0-2. Swing and a miss. So Bucks County threatened, but Weis Knightly shuts the door in the second inning and gets out of a jam. Knights still lead it 4-0.
It's hard to study when you're hungry. The college pantry can help. Central Penn College and your Student Government Association are committed to ensuring that all of our CPC Knights have access to food when they need it. Requests are kept anonymous and can be submitted online. Look for the link under the link section of Student Central or contact Lindsay Garber, Director of Housing and Residence Life at lindsaygarber@centralpenn.edu.
We're going to take a short break with the Knights, top of the order. Do what? All right, we're back here in the bottom of the second. Owen Zell leading off. Zell, Boyd, and Thomas do up.
Batting for Central Penn College is number 11, Owen Zell.
Not that often that your leadoff hitter is also leading off the second inning, but the Knights did bat around in the first inning, scoring 4 runs on 2 hits.
And one of those was that big crushing home run to left field by David Thomas. So Owen Zell has a walk so far today.
Yeah, Thomas brought in 3 with that home run. You get 3-run home runs, you don't need a whole lot of hits.
Really? To Zell. Strike in there. Runs the count to 2-1. Pitch. Zell with some power out to center fielder, calls off. And Zell flies out to center for the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 6, Tanner Boyd.
So bring Tanner Boyd to the plate.
Let's go, Ted!
Can you...
Ball on the outside for the first pitch. Swing and bunt, foul.
Pitch right in on Boyd's hands there, and he just fought it off.
Count runs to 1-1 to Boyd. Boyd reached on the error last at bat, so technically he's 0 for 1 for the day. But his on-base percentage went up on that, Steve. Oh, and that hits him.
His on-base percentage just went up again.
So that's a hit by a pitch. And that's the second hit by pitch today.
For Boyd, yeah. This one didn't sting quite as much.
Boyd got hit. Yeah, Boyd got hit twice today. But that's the second hit batter for Galarza. So that brings up David Thomas, and we know in the first inning, David Thomas put some power in the bat and hit out the left field, Steve.
You have to wonder if Tanner Boyd heard us early on in the other game saying that McCoy led the team with hit by pitches with 8, and next closest was 4, and now Boyd is racking up the hit by pitch.
And just like we saw in the first game and last inning, pitch runner for Boyd. Big cut by Thomas, so he was looking to go yard again there, Steve.
Yeah, William Baker III is the pinch runner in there.
Pitch. It's going on the run. Safe. Not even a slide. It was a good throw down, but I think the bounce threw it off, Steve.
And the shortstop was asking if maybe his foot came off the bag and he had tagged him after that, but umpire said no, he's safe.
So the count runs to 1-1 to David Thomas. Pitch. Foul. Staying alive. Runs count to 1-2.
Fouled that one off the catcher's mask.
We got Nick Joseph on bat, or Nick Joseph due up. This counts 1-2. Low. Runs count even to 2-2 for David Thomas. Pitch. Low. So runs the count full. Three-two pitch. Skied high up there. Shortstop's calling for it. Left field runs in. Catch is made. And Thomas is retired on the flyout.
Now batting
Short.
number 13, Nick Joseph.
That brings Nick Joseph to the plate. Nick Joseph reached on a single his last at bat.
Joseph's second on the team in RBIs coming into today.
Pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Joseph acknowledges the pitch, shakes his head. It's a good pitch. Definitely a lot cleaner inning for Galarza, Steve. Goes to third.
Yeah, good throw.
Got him at third. So caught stealing to end the inning. The Knights had put a runner on, but nothing to score for. Score still 4-0.
Yeah, good throw by the catcher there. And you always say you don't want to make the first or the third out at third base. But again, in college, sometimes we see runners doing that. And not a bad gamble with Baker because he is a speedster.
So we're going to take a short break here with Cam Smiley coming back to the mound for the
Now batting for Bucks
All right, back with you here in the top of the third.
Ortland.
Chris Ortlip's up the bat. He reached on the air his last at bat. Smiley with the first pitch of the inning. Big cut by Orlip for a miss. Due up for Bucks County is Orlip, Verkovich, and Frank. 0-1. And the third low evens the count at 1. Smiley already having 5 strikeouts today, Steve, only in the third inning. Big cut foul off the mask of the catcher.
Yeah, 5 of the first 6 outs were strikeouts.
And he only has 1 walk and only allowed 1 hit. The 1-2. Smiley gets his pitch. The delivery. Straight back.
Looking for strikeout number 6 here in the third inning.
I'm interested to wonder, Steve, what's the record for strikeouts in one game for Central Penn?
I cannot answer that.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Hit him. I didn't know it hit him. It sounded like it hit the dirt, but I guess it got him on the foot.
Must have hit the shoe, yeah.
That's what it would sound. It sounded like leather. So hit by a pitch. You know what I'm saying? So that brings up the power hitter for Bucks Community, who Smiley won the first battle with having him settle down on strikes. Let's see if Smiley can have a similar result here. Man on, no outs. Smiley gets his pitch. Pitch. Fouled straight back at us.
Rocking our camera a little bit again.
But still in good shape. Battery's still good. Counts 0-1. Pitch. Inside. Smiley wanted that pitch. So he gets to count to 1-1. Pitch. Low and inside. Runs the count to 2-1. Two-one count. Smiley. The pitch. Got him on the outside corner for a strike. That's a good pitch there, Steve.
That was a good pitch. Tough pitch to hit. Probably did a good job of laying off of it. Count even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes, though.
Two. One more time. Smiley. The pitch. Big cut. Nick Joseph seems to be under it. He got it. And Volkovich is retired for the second time, Steve. That's a big out.
Number 11,
Yeah, he just got under that a little bit.
So that brings Frank to the plate, who Smiley also set him down on strikes in his first at bat.
Frank second on the team in home runs this year.
Pitch taken for a ball for the first pitch. And Boyd looked back to runner the first. Looking to throw over, but he looked him back. Runner goes, hit and run on, and that's going foul.
Clouds rolling in a little bit here in game 2, so the sun is not as much of an issue as it was in game 1.
Got a little bit of a breeze behind us too, Steve. The pitch. Grounder foul, so it brings the count to 1-2 with 1 out. An error by the Bucks County coach at third base. Counts 1-2. Smiley looks the runner over. He gets a sign. The pitch. Oh, just out, corner home plate umpire. That was a good pitch on the corner, just a bit out. Runs the count to 2-2. Smiley, 2-2. Swing and a miss. He fans him for another strikeout.
Batting fifth, number 2, Alex Fantasky.
So that brings him to 6 strikeouts already, Steve, in the top of the third. Strikeout pitch working for Smiley today.
And you wonder now if 2 out, with 2 outs, if the runner might be trying to steal a base there. Orlip has 5 steals on the season.
Smiley goes for the outside for a ball. One ball, no strikes. Smiley the pitch. Foul back at us.
He was right on that pitch, but just underneath it, fouled it off.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Knights lead at 4-0. Smiley with the pitch. Big cut, third base, gonna look at it. Just in front of him. Again, like we saw in the first game over on the first base side, it's going to be a tough play to make regardless, Steve, because you got to be mindful of the wall out there.
And there's quite a bit of foul ground out there.
Because we're trying to watch the ball and also be mindful that you don't crash yourself into the wall.
Smith Cole was going all the way out there from shortstop.
And we even had David Thomas and left even gave it a look too.
It came up about 3 or 4 feet short of the ball.
So count's still 1-2 with 2 outs. Out come Kai and inside here in the strike zone, Steve.
Sounds like a plan.
And right to Zell for the pit. And with that, the side is retired. So Bucks County gets on with the hit by pitch, but did not do anything with it. Our Knights still lead 4-0.
Save the date for Friday, May 9th at 6 p.m. as the CPC film series returns for the spring term. Associate Professor of Communications Michael Lear-Olympi presents the classic Western film High Noon. During his presentation, he'll discuss the film's historical significance and its lasting influence on American cinema. Concessions will be available for a donation to the Knightly News Media Club.
We're going to take a short break here and be back in the bottom of the third with All right, we're back with you in the bottom of the third. Parker Rose, Steve Hassinger with you on the call. Leading off is Nick Joseph. So the duo for the Knights is Joseph, Kaufman, and McCoy. The heart of the order, Steve.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see the Knights tack on a couple runs here. They got those 4 in the first. We still have a nice 4-0 lead, but I always like to build off of that a little bit.
Kaufman already ahead in the count here. 1-0. 1-0 pitch to Kaufman. Or, I'm sorry, Joseph. Fouled off to the right. Evens the count to 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Joseph. Curveball in there. Came back. That was a nice pitch.
Big hook there.
So that runs the count to 1-2 now to Joseph. 1-2 pitch. Low, it hits the catcher. We're going to hit the umpire.
I think you caught the catcher, you're right.
Ends up to count to 2-2. Action still stirring in Bucks County's bullpen. They had the pitcher getting hot for a couple innings now. Pitch just inside on Joseph. So runs the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch to Joseph. Outside, runs the count full. Full count. Joseph. And here is the pitch, 3-2. Popped up, not deep, shallow. Second baseman gets a look at the wind's taking it, looks like. Wow. The wind really took that one, Steve. It was under the shortstop. It took all the way almost to the first base side of the bag.
The wind is really whipping around here in game 2, and it's going to cause some havoc on high fly balls like that.
So that brings Kaufman to the plate, who went down on strikes his last at bat. Hook in there for a strike.
That's definitely been an effective pitch for him here.
Yes, it has. Ever since that first inning, he settled in, Steve. Kaufman going down for that one, fouls it off.
Well, we talked about the fact that he had just a 3.12 ERA coming into the game, so definitely an effective pitcher. Two strikes now on Kaufman. We are trying our best to make adjustments to the camera here, so we apologize for that. That one over Kaufman's head, ducked under it.
Again, everyone, we apologize for the camera moving on us. We've been battling all day, but we'll try our best to keep fixing as best we can. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Kaufman goes down swing for the second time. So that brings Tanner McCoy to the dish. Tanner McCoy reached on the walk his last at bat.
Now batting, number 43, Tanner McCoy.
Pitch to McCoy. In there for a called strike for the first pitch of the AB. High, big key and a big cut by McCoy, and quickly he's down to 0-2 in the count.
4 runs in this game so far, but only 3 hits. 2 for the Knights and 1 for Bucks County.
So if we look in that error column, Steve, 4 errors in total in this game. Oh, and the hook in there just out. Galarza thought he had him on strikes.
He was walking off the mound, heading for the dugout.
It was definitely a good pitch, but just a bit out. 1-2 to McCoy. Outside, runs the count to 2-2. To McCoy. The pitch. McCoy fouls off to the right of us. Ball rolled all the way down behind us, Steve. Kept rolling, rolling, and rolling. 2-2 pitch again to McCoy. Low, runs the count full. Count full to McCoy, 2 outs. The pitch. Outside, and McCoy reaches again with a walk. So McCoy definitely has a good on-base percentage, Steve.
2-out base runner here.
Batting 7th.
And
Number 7,
that's a good at-bat for
Brian
McCoy because he went down
Lowen.
early 0-2 in the count and come all the way back to battle to get on base with a walk. So that brings Lowen to the plate, who he actually went for a sacrifice, and he reached on with that misplay. Like, they just floated it up there, his last at-bat.
Yeah, errant throw from the pitcher trying to get him at first and threw it over the first baseman's head.
Calling there for a strike. On 1 count to Lowen. Big cut for strike 2. Lowen quickly down 0-2 here. 2 outs. The pitch. Strike 3 called. Swing and a miss.
Strike 3 swinging.
So the Knights do get a runner on, but nothing to show for it. They're down this inning. clean, but they're still leading 4-0.
Weis Markets proudly supports our military. As a thank you for our appreciation, Weis Markets offers a 10% discount on participating Weis brand products every Thursday to all active duty, reserve, retired, and military veterans. Thank you for your service. See the store for more details.
All right, we're back here with you for the top of the fourth. Knights still lead it 4-0 here.
Number 13, Joe Ruggiero.
Joe Ruggiero up for Bucks County. Ruggiero, Penn, and Mulder are due up. Ruggiero last at bat flew out. First pitch from Smiley. In there for a big cut for a strike. Wonder if Ruggiero was looking for a fastball and got an off-speed pitch there, Steve, it looked like.
Big swing and a miss.
Second pitch from Smiley. Again, another big cut and gets him for strike 2 and quickly down to 0-2. Grounder. Smith Cole with it. Got him for an out. Ooh, we ran into McCoy. So 1 out there.
Yeah, McCoy got pulled off the bag a little bit and had to tag him. Runner did run into him, but
Glad they're both okay, because that's always a little scary, Steve.
he backed off quickly.
So that's 6-3 in the putout, and I'll bring Ty Pan to the dish.
We know Tanner hasn't been hit by a pitch today, so he needs to be hit by a runner or something, right? Because he can't get out of a game unscathed.
It seems like every game something happens. 1-0 to Pan. 2-0 to Pan.
Checking to see if he swung, but first base umpire says he held up.
So Smiley's down 3-0 in the count. Walks him on 4 straight pitches. So Pan's on with a walk.
And Pan second on the team with 18 of those team 96 stolen bases.
So that's going to bring Mulder to the plate. Mulder, last at bat, struck out. So let's hope they could set up here for a double play possibility, Steve, with 1 out.
Yeah, we still haven't seen a double play all day.
Have not, and it's odd because you usually see them at least once or twice in baseball. And runner takes off. That's going to be a tough look over the right field line. Good effort out there by Gabe Kaufman, but just ran out of real estate.
And it did hit the netting about 2/3 of the way up. And if you haven't been out to FMB Field for a while, there is netting now all the way around the right field line, the left field line, obviously behind home plate.
So off the foul, that runs the count to 0-1. You're interested, Bucks County takes off again here to try to get out of the double play possibility. Smiley gets his look to pitch. Outside.
Yeah, got that outside corner on that one. Head 0-2 now.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Gets in there, and he's trying to go for 3, but he went back.
It's probably a good thing he did.
Yes, it would, but Smiley with another strikeout.
Jaden Nazar.
So that brings Jaden Nazai to the plate.
2 out now with the runner at second. Still just one hit in game 2 for Bucks County.
Pitch by Smiley, low. Mazai reached on the walk his last at-bat, Steve. So runner in scoring position here with 2 outs for Bucks County. Smiley with 6 strikeouts already today. Pitch. Chopper. Smith Cole got it. Going to be a tough play, but it gets him. And
good play by Smith Cole to end the inning there.
It was. Bucks County had one in the scoring position, but the Knights set them down.
Do you need an on-the-go breakfast or snack? Swing by Weis Markets and pick up some fresh in-store cut fruit. Weis Markets also offers large pre-cut fruit platters for family gatherings or parties. It's easy for me to say.
Absolutely, Steve. I was actually just at Weis Markets yesterday, and they offer military discounts for veterans. So,
and you are a veteran, so I'm glad you took advantage of that.
Yep, they get back to their community wherever they can. We'll take a short break here. Knights do up. All right, we're back here with you in the bottom of the 4th with the Knights up the bat. Due up is Brent. Smith Cole, and the lineup flips over to Zell. Due up.
For Central Penn College, number 42, Kyle Brent.
Last at bat, Kyle Brent was hit by the pitch.
Yeah, it's good to see that he was able to stay in the game there. Looks like he's doing fine now.
Absolutely. Gallarz is still out there for Bucks County. Besides that first inning, Steve, he's settled down. Strike called in there on the corner for the first pitch of the inning.
Yeah, zeros on the board except for the 4 runs the Knights scored when they batted around in the first.
Ready to say, they have 3 errors, so on that home run by Thomas, I would say Gallarz probably only tagged maybe 2 of those runs, I would think. 1-1 count. Side. So runs count to 2-1.
Good eye by Brent there.
Yes, it was. Wind blowing behind us, blowing out.
I think the dugout for Bucks County was not real happy with that call.
2-1. High and outside. 3-1. A 3-1 pitch again. Foul back.
Bless you.
Thank you. Foul back at us. It's a count full to Brent. Smith Cole on deck. Counts 3-2. The pitch again. Ball 4. So Brent gets on with a walk.
Now batting number 15, Terrell
That leadoff
Smith
runner on
Cole.
now. Let's see if we can move him along. I'd like to see the Knights add at least 1 run here. Be ahead by more than a grand slam.
Smith Cole, wonder if they put the sacrifice on Steve.
Yep.
They do. But they got Brent. He got back though. The ump looked like he wanted to call him out there. He had to hesitate. But,
Yeah, he was definitely bad.
But the ump made the right call. He was safe. Catcher going out to talk to his pitcher.
Maybe discussing some strategy about what to do here if he does lay that bunt down.
You would think they would probably play for the sacrifice, but again, they're down 4, so they may try to double them up if they can, or at least try to get the lead runner. Pitcher looks over. Smith Cole's showing bunt all the way. Pops it up, and that's going to double up Brent.
Yeah, Brent just strayed too far there.
Whoa, that's not very good.
So Brent probably thought they were going to let it drop.
Owen Zell.
So just like that, the Knights are 2 outs in the inning to bring Owen Zell to the dish. And Zell walked and flew out today. First pitch, swinging. That might get to the gap, Steve. And it's down for a hit. Zell big round to first, but goes back. So that's a hit for Zell. Central Penn got a runner on, so 2 outs.
Tanner Boyd.
Bring Tanner Boyd to the dish. Tanner Boyd reached on the air and he was hit by a pitch. His last AB.
Shake your dreads, Tank.
All right, is Owen going on the first pitch or the second pitch? Second pitch.
I think he's going here, Steve. It looks like I got some. Yeah, I would think Zell's going to take off here, Steve. Get a runner in scoring position, maybe even have the hit and run on.
Well, with 2 outs, I don't think they would have hit and run, but
It's fouled off.
I do think he's going to steal. He didn't show any signs of stealing there, though.
Did not, which I
Surprising.
will say. I'm surprised. Try to get in scoring position because instead of a base hit, we'll bring him in. However, it's still just 0-1, so we'll see. But I'm back. But Zell's back, no problem.
Here you go, Tank. Right away.
Pitch. Strike in there. Runs the count to 0-2 to Boyd. He did look at the umpire asking where that pitch was. 0-2 pitch. Pop back at us.
No harm done.
No harm, no foul. No pun intended there. So runs the count to 0-2 with 2 outs. Zell at first. The 0-2 pitch. High.
Here you go, Tank. Battle.
1-2 pitch to Boyd. Here we go. Low, runs together 2, and Zell didn't see the ball at first, so that's why he did not advance, which is a smart decision. When in doubt, don't try it.
Yeah, I didn't get too far away from the catcher, so.
But I will say, if Zell did go, he probably would have been safe, Steve, because he was halfway down. It would have been, would have had to rely on the good throw. So that runs the count full, so Boyd, another great at-bat working. 3-2 pitch. That's gonna drop in the gap. Zell should get home on this.
Watch Owen run.
Zell, they're sending on Zell's round. With his speed, he's there. And Boyd with an RBI double to push the Knights lead to 5.
Number 34, David Thomas.
Yeah, with the ball in the gap like that and a 3-2 count with 2 outs, Owen was taken off from first with the pitch. So he scored rather easily, actually.
And we got David Thomas, the third out there, the pitch run like he's been the last 2 games. And knowing him, we know he's aggressive on the base pad too.
Well, we got David Thomas at the plate.
Oh, my
We got
apologies.
William Baker the third running out there. Yep.
David Thomas, our home run hitter in the first inning, gets a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. I think when William Baker was on last, didn't he get thrown out going to third trying to steal, right? If I'm not mistaken.
may be right.
Inside, fouls off his foot. Appears to be okay, which is good. Runs the count to 0-2. This line score, Bucks Community 0 runs on 1 hit, 3 errors. Knights 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. Outside runs the count to 1-2. So definitely we will say errors haunting Bucks County. Definitely allowed a couple runs. But the Knights offense also shown they could put runs on the board too. David Thomas a home run. Big cut down for the strikes out. But the Knights bring 1 home in the inning on the RBI double by Tanner Boyd. Knights up 5-0.
The Central Penn app was designed with students in mind. The app brings the school to your fingertips and enables you to connect with the Central Penn community. Stay on top of your events, classes, and assignments with the building calendar function, and get notified of important dates, deadlines, and security announcements. Make friends, ask questions, and access campus resources at any time. Search Central Penn College in the App Store.
We'll be back for the top of the 5th inning. Cam Smiley. All right, we're back here for the top of the 5th. Parker Rose, Steve Hassinger with you on the call.
Now batting, number 27, Sammy Nazai.
Due up, top of the order, due up for Bucks Community. Sammy Nazai, off to lip, and Volgovich. Nazai 0 for 2 today with 2 Ks. We're in the top of the 5th. Knights up 5-0. First pitch of the 5th inning. Called for a ball. One-0, Smiley with the pitch. Swing and a miss for the pitch. Good pitch there by Smiley to eve up the count at 1.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to hold up. About a 2/3 swing there, but he wasn't able to hold.
Looks like the batter was not looking for that pitch or thought it was off. Smiley with the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Had him going down fishing there. It was a good pitch, too. Runs the count to 1-2 now to Nazai. Sammy Nazai. 1-2. Fouled off, staying alive. Good location there by Smiley.
Yeah, just got a piece of that one to foul it back.
Smiley's line so far, 4 full innings. He allowed 1 hit, allowed 1 run on no runs on 1 hit, and got him for a strikeout. So, Nazai with the hat trick with 3 strikeouts on him today.
Now batting, number 5, Chris Ortland.
That's a 7th strikeout overall for Smiley, Steve.
Might be heading for double digits.
So that brings in Ortlip in the plate. Chops one back to Zell. Zell fields it. Oh. You know what? For Boblin, though, you got to give good credit for Zell to still trying to make a play at first there.
Well, it looked like that took a big hop at the end there. I don't know if it hit the cutout or what happened. It might have just hit the edge of the grass because it really took a high hop.
And they did give that a hit.
He knocked it down, but just wasn't able to field it cleanly.
Overall, it was a good effort, though, by Zell to try to make the play, though. That brings up the dangerous hitter for Bucks Community College, Volgovich, who is 0 for 2 today. And he rips one to left for a base hit. So Bucks County in business here with 1 out with runners on first and second.
Now batting number 11, Austin Frank.
So that's going to bring Austin Frank to the plate. Austin Frank is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts today.
Really only the second time in this game where Cameron Smiley's been in some significant trouble. So let's see how he gets out of it.
Lined up the middle for another hit. So that's going to load the bases for Bucks County. And granted, the runner on second had the hold there because they weren't sure if they were going to snag that down. Bucks County playing situational hitting here. It looks like this is going to be it for Smiley. But regardless, with the runners on, Smiley overall, a good day, Steve.
Yeah, he pitched well today. Just getting into some trouble here in this inning with some solid hits. Bucks County only had 1 hit, as you said, coming into this inning, but they've had 3 singles here. So the bases are loaded with 1 out. And as I was saying last inning, you'd like to see the Knights tack on a run, which they did. So now even with a grand slam, they're still ahead 5-4. But let's hope that they can get out of this inning.
Yep. And Smiley does inherit the runs that are on base right now. So we got a pitch and change here for the Knights. Looks like it's going to be number 33 for the Knights coming on the pitch. It's going to be Mark Culp, freshman.
Now pitching for Central Penn College is number 33, Mark Culp.
His 3 appearances, no game started. He does have a win. He has an 8.44 K/9 ratio, but he also has an 8.44 ERA, Steve.
Yeah, 5 1/3 innings, giving up 5 earned runs, walked 4, giving up 7 hits, and 5 strikeouts. Tough spot to come in here with the bases loaded and 1 out.
It is, but we didn't see one all day yet today, Steve, but a double play will get him out of this inning.
Absolutely.
But as Culp is warming up, we will take a short break here and we'll be back with you in a All right, we're back here after the break for the pitching change. Again, freshman Mark Culp on the mound for Central Penn, and that brings Alex Fantaski to the plate. And he first pitch swinging. Left fielder calls it. Bucks County fakes the tag, but that's a big out there, Steve.
Yeah,
First
absolutely.
1 pitch, 1 out, and you know, just got to focus on the batter here with 2 outs. You don't have to worry about the runners.
Yeah, you have a force at any base, and big out to get the pop fly there. Not deep enough to score the runner on third.
So that brings it Utrio, who is 0 for 2 today. Pitch by Mark Culp, low and outside in the dirt for a ball. Culp gets a sign. The pitch inside. Two-0. High, 3-0. You don't want to walk a batter in here, Steve. I'll bring a tie run to the plate.
Yeah, you hate to come in with anything too good to hit, but you got to trust your fielders.
Well, now you wonder, 3-0, they're going to give him the green light because he's going to get a pitch down the middle.
I think he'd take 1 at least.
And never mind, walks him on 4 straight pitches. So that will put Bucks Community on the board here, 5-1. the walk.
Now batting number
That's 5 straight balls there,
23,
Steve.
Trip Scheidel.
So that brings Trip Streidel to the plate. I guess he's hitting for Pan.
Culp has lost the strike zone here temporarily.
He found it. He gets a ground ball to Zell. And Zell flips it to McCoy, and the Knights get out of a jam.
Yeah, it's a good job by Culp there coming in. He did walk that run in, but he got 2 outs, and it could have been a whole lot worse in that inning.
Absolutely. So he does help Smiley. Smiley only allowing 1 run in this game, Steve. So Bucks County was threatening, but they only scored 1. We're back with you here in the bottom of the 5th. Bucks County made a pitching change. Sean Essler on the mound, the freshman. He has 10 appearances, 2 games. He has a loss.
Now batting number 13, Nick Joseph.
And he has a 3.80 ERA. So he's definitely one of the reliable relievers, Steve, for Bucks County.
And really important for him to come out here and shut down the Knights in this inning. You get a little bit of momentum scoring that run, and the Knights would like to do nothing more than just come out here and answer that run or add another run.
Well, his first pitch was in there for a strike on Nick Joseph. Joseph for the day, 1 for 2. The 0-1 outside. Seen all day, pitchers were definitely looking for that outside corner, Steve. No matter if it was a lefty or a righty up at the plate.
Yeah, and it was called a little more in the first game than it is
Now
here.
pitching for Bucks County is number 32, Sean Essler.
Pitch. In the dirt, back at us. Counts 2-2, Joseph. Scoreboard has 3-1. 2-2 pitch. That's a shot down the right field line. That should be 2 for Joseph. That even might be 3. Nope. Right fielder got in time.
Yeah, good hustle by the right fielder to get over there and field that ball down in the corner and get it back in.
So a good start for the Knights here with the leadoff double here. Puts them in business with no outs. And a runner in scoring position early.
Gabe Kaufman.
Which will brings Gabe Kaufman to the plate. Gabe Kaufman today 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, so he's definitely looking for a base hit, Steve. And I just look at the outfield scoreboard. We're up to 77 degrees. On the dirt.
And at the very least, you'd like to see Kaufman hit the ball to the right side here and move the runner over to third with less than 2 outs.
You have McCoy on deck, who reached on walks in his 2 plate appearances. Pitch to Kaufman. Big hack for a miss, swing and a miss, evens the count at 1-1. Count 1-1 to Kaufman. Runner on second, no outs. Knights lead at 5-1. Pitch. High. Looking off-speed pitch. It didn't want to come down there, Steve.
Yeah, catcher did a good job to go up and get that one.
Yeah,
Save that runner from getting to third.
So that now puts the count to 2 balls and 1 strike to Kaufman. Pitch. High again. So now hitters count at 3-1. Pitch. Outside. Kaufman reaches on the walk, and the runner advances to third. So put runners on the corners with no outs. Knights threatening to add on to their lead.
And Tanner McCoy coming to the dish, looking to do some damage. And as we said, Bucks County really wanted to shut down inning here to try to chip away at this lead, but the Knights are trying to answer back quickly.
And here in game 2, Steve, Tanner McCoy had a lot of good at-bats here. He was on the base pad for 2 walks, which is good for the on-base percent, but he also worked some really good at-bats. Like his last at-bat, he was down 0-2. He worked all the way back for a walk, so definitely good awareness in the batter box. Pitch. Outside, so we see Bucks County's pitcher struggling to find the strike zone. Sean Essler. Back. But he's back. Corners. Then we got Lowen on deck. Lowen is reached on air and he struck out his last at bat. But the Knights can really open up this lead here with a base hit by Tanner McCoy. Or even just getting on base in general would be great. Pitch on the corner to McCoy. McCoy asks the umpire, where's that at?
Yeah, and I know Tanner would like to drive in that run from third base here. Lowen has struggled a little bit at the plate this year.
Back again, they try getting Kaufman, but Kaufman back safely.
Lowen hitting just 138 coming into the game.
1-1 pitch. Tanner, boy, runner goes, Kaufman goes. They fake the throw, but they were trying to get the lead runner at third, but that puts Kaufman now in scoring position with no out. So base hit to plate 2 here, Steve, for Central Penn. McCoy down the count 1-2, but we've seen all day him working great counts that he could get back into this count. 1-2 pitch to McCoy. Reaches, he gets thrown. That's going to play at least 1. We're have runners on the corners again with no outs. Central Penn extends their lead to 6-1 on an RBI single by Tanner McCoy.
Yeah, and it's a case where the infield drawn in allowed him to shoot that ball right between the first and second baseman there. If they're playing normal depth, it's probably an out, but of course it would have scored a run.
And we like to call that, Steve, good situational hitting there.
Absolutely. And we've seen a lot of that from Tanner.
Absolutely. He's been consistent all year at the plate. So, Knights still in business here. No outs and runners on the corners. So, that brings Lowen to the dish. 0 for 2 today. So, he could definitely help his own cause here. At least get an RBI. Shows bunt.
Umpire said he offered.
And back to the first inning, Steve. That's what Lowen did. He tried doing a sacrifice, and they just floated it up there, and he got on base. Brent on deck. Lowen shows bunt, and he bunts, pops it up. Third baseman got a look, and third baseman got it. So the sacrifice did not work as he popped up to third.
Number 42, Kyle Brent.
So that brings Kyle Brent to the plate, who reached on a hit by a pitch and a walk in his 2 plate appearances. Left fielder shaded to mostly the left center, so play down the line could really open up. Situational hitting, the name of the game here. First pitch, high. Kaufman on third, McCoy on first. Knights scored to extend their lead by 5 by an RBI single by Tanner McCoy. 1-0 to Brent, 2-0. Take good eye by Brent.
Good backhand grab by the catcher there to keep a run from scoring.
Kyle Brent head back. Kyle Brent had an account 2-0, attempt pickoff on Tanner McCoy, but he was back in time. Reaches, foul, so that runs the count to 2-1. McCoy will go back to first. Two-1 to Brent. Pitch, high, 3-1. McCoy walking down the line, gets in there. So McCoy gets in the second on a stolen base standing. He just walked halfway down the line. They finally threw it to try to get him, Steve, and they didn't bother tagging him. I guess they were worried about the runner trying to advance home.
Probably so.
So 2 in scoring position with just 1 out still on the board for Brent. And Brent in the hitter's count, 3-1. The pitch, outside. That loads the bases for Central Penn. And Smith Cole up to bat. So Smith Cole could deliver here. They could really get this wide open.
Now batting for 15, Terrell Smith Cole.
First and third playing the bunt, it looks like, Steve. So maybe they're trying to think a sacrifice on here. Smith Cole does not show bunt. Ball on the outside.
Well, he wouldn't be sacrificing if he was bunting. It would be for a hit with the bases loaded.
Oh, shoot. I was thinking the suicide squeeze. My apologies.
Oh, yeah. Well, it could be.
And he puts one up there. First baseman looking at it to the dugout. And it's out of play. Farther out of play than we all thought. I thought it was going only in the dugout and went all the way up to the second decker behind us. Smith Cole comes in today 0 for 2. Ground out and a fly out. He could really help his own cause here. The base hit. The 0-1, the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Even if he can get on with the walk, it's an RBI for him. Outruns the 2-1 to Smith Cole. Pitch. Smith Cole did go. It's according to the home plate umpire. So it runs the count to 2-2. Fans do not like the call by the umpire. High, that's going to backstop, buddy.
Bounced right back to the catcher.
Just ready to say that. Three-two. Smith Cole. Oh, that almost took out the umpire. But with Cole's speed, that's going to play at least one. This should play McCoy.
Yeah, it would have been a double play, but the throw got away at first base.
Now batting, number 11, Owen Zell.
So despite the force, Knights get 2 out of it on the bad play. So Knights extend their lead to 8-1. flips the layup over to Owen Zell, who reached on a single, walked, and he also flew out. So now that puts runners just on first, but Smith Cole can run too, Steve. So Zell could put one in play.
Absolutely.
Low. And I will say, pitcher for Bucks County has lost the strike zone. He's struggling with command and location. We have Tanner Boyd on deck.
Probably a little frustrated that they didn't get out of that inning with the double play ball.
It's back and up. But that double play ball is a tough play, though, because the umpire had to dive out of the way in your way and everything. So it definitely was a tough play. But the count is now 1-1 to Zell. Pitch to Zell. Strike on the outside corner, and Zell did not like that call. Runs the count 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Chopper. Zell. And they got him out. But the Knights put 3 up in the inning. Extend their lead by 7. Knights lead at 8-1.
Weis Markets proudly supports our military. As a thank you for our appreciation, Weis Markets offers a 10% discount on participating Weis brand products every Thursday to all active duty, reserve, retired, and military veterans. Thank you for your service. See the store for more details.
And we were talking about that earlier on the broadcast, Steve. I went to Weis yesterday and took advantage of that. So thank you, Weis, for honoring veterans by offering the 10% discount. We'll take a break here and we'll be
Holder.
All right, we're back with you here on the call. Park Rose, Steve Hassinger in the top of the 6th. Mark Culp coming out here for second inning of work. Brings to the plate for Bucks County. Number 21, Mulder. Mulder's 0 for 2 with strikeouts. 2 up is Mulder, Jay Nazai, and then Sam Nazai, 2 up for Bucks County.
Take it out.
So there was a time called, situated for the ump. Strike counts 0-1 to Mulder. The 0-1. Up there, not too deep, right fielder. Got it.
Right along the right field foul line. Might have landed fair if it hadn't been caught. Would have been close.
Kaufman with the catch.
Down batting number 44, Jaden Nazai.
So that'll bring Jaden Nazai to the plate. Nazai reach on the walk and has a 6 and grounded out in his 2 at-bats. One out for the Knights. First pitch in the dirt for a ball. The 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Hit him.
Yeah, that one's going to sting a little bit. They get a base runner here with one out in the sixth.
Now batting number 27, Sammy Nazai.
So that brings Sammy Nazai to the dish. Sammy Nazai has 3 strikeouts. He shows bunt. It's going to be a tough play. But they got him. Good play by McCoy. And the coach is not happy. Bucks County is not happy with that call.
Yeah, and they want him to ask the home plate umpire for help.
It looked like from my angle he got him, Steve, but regardless, it was a good play. Sammy's safe now. Oh, nope, never mind. Correction, they called him out. So, good pick by McCoy to stay on the bag over there, making a great play to record the second out of this inning. Do we have an ejection? We have a timeout.
Looks like it.
So the time was called appears we had an ejection. It looks like the third base coach for Bucks County got thrown out of the game. So that's what the call appeared to be for the time. So with that being said, they ended up getting the call correct. The runner was out at first base. So there's 2 outs now for Central Penn.
That was a good job by McCoy to stretch and manage to hold the bag enough to get that out.
Now batting number 5, Chris Ortland.
Right back up the middle. Zell is able to knock it down, so that'll at least prevent the run from scoring. First and third now with 2 outs, though, for Bucks County.
Now batting number 10, Evan Erdelovich.
Like you were saying there, Steve, that was a nice battle down by Owen. Because if that got through, that probably would have played it a run. Looks like Zell a little shaken up there, but he appears to be okay, which is a good sign. So that brings the power hitter and Volgovich to the dish with 2 runners on and 2 outs for Bucks County. Volgovich coming in 1 for 3 today. He's ahead in the count 1-0. Bat pickoff attempt, but the runner is back at first. But with an 8-1 lead, Steve, I wouldn't be worried about runners with 2 outs. I would just focus on the hitter because you do got a dangerous hitter at the dish.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if both of those runners were to score, it would be 8-3. And of course, we just fixed the camera, and here comes that ball right back toward our camera.
And just like a fan of baseball, I even jumped thinking it was going to come right back at us. Pitch on the outside. So Volkovich ahead in the count, 2-1. Popped up. That's really high, and it's going towards the left. Oh, what a catch! And that ends the inning, and Volkovich is not happy.
Good job to stay with that. A lot of air up there, as we've referenced several times today. So just a good job to hang with that and keep Bucks County off the board here in the 6th. So 8-1 lead with 1 inning to go.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a short break here.
.45, Adrian Santiago.
So, the new pitcher for Bucks County, Anthony Santiago's the pitcher. Find which one's my paper here. I can tell you his stat line. So, Adrian Santiago has 10 innings pitched. He's 0 for 2 with 2 games started, and he has a 16.20 ERA, Steve.
Yeah, 10 innings pitched, 16 hits, 18 earned runs, and 18 walks. So it looks like finding the strike zone has been a bit of an issue.
When you see an ERA of 16.20, you could buy a lunch for yourself for a day with that ERA. Thought I'd get a little joke for the fans out there listening. We want to just give a shout and thank everyone who's tuning in on YouTube, watching the live stream. We really appreciate it. And shout out to the fans here in attendance as well to support the Knights.
And our stream has definitely been much more steady than it was on Wednesday night when we had all kinds of troubles. Today's issue was just really trying to keep the camera at a decent angle.
And now we're thinking it, Steve, is it probably was the wind on Wednesday, but today it's just, camera's like a knuckleball. We don't know where it's going. So that brings Tanner Boyd to the plate. Due up for the Knights is Boyd, Thomas, and Joseph. Boyd reached on a double his last hit, or his last at-bat. Here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch from Santiago off the plate for a ball. The 1-0. High. As mentioned, you said, Steve, a little earlier, it looks like we're already seeing Santiago struggling to find the strike zone.
Yeah, those 18 walks in 10 innings.
Way outside for ball 3. At this point, with being up a 7-run lead, you would think Central Penn's taking all the way here on this 3-0 pitch. Since 3-0, taking all the way in there for a strike.
Took a little bit off of that pitch, found the strike zone.
Even then, it kind of looked like it was going up a little high, too. So 3-1 to Tanner Boyd. The 3-1. Strike called. I thought it was a little in, but that was in. So runs the count full 3-2. Three-two pitch. High. So Boyd reaches on with a walk. So that will bring up
number 34, David Thomas.
Brings up power hitter David Thomas, who hit a 3-run home run back here in the first inning.
And we're going to get that courtesy runner again.
Yep.
William Baker III.
For Central Penn College, it's number 14, Will Baker.
David Thomas comes in today, 1 for 3 with that 3-run home run back in the first inning to help spark this Knights offense. The first pitch, and he hits him.
Yeah, I think that caught him right in the back of the neck.
That definitely stings, but he
Now
appears to be
batting
okay.
number 13, Nick Joseph.
So that puts runners on first and second, no outs for Central Penn.
Yeah, Thomas is asking for time out there to
Stretch out.
look like it hit right underneath the helmet.
He appears to be okay, which is a good sign. So that's going to bring Nick Joseph to the plate. And Nick Joseph, 2 for 3 with a single and a double, Steve.
Another good offensive game for Joseph.
Runners on first and second for the Knights, no outs. Big cut fouled back. Here comes that wind. Counts 0-1 to Nick Joseph. And we have Gabe Kaufman on deck. Joseph chops one to third. Just foul, according to the home plate umpire.
Yeah,
But it was close for sure.
It was. I missed the line by maybe 5 or 6 inches at the
And
most.
and in baseball, Steve, all it has to do is get over that bag and just touch that chalk to the right side. The whole ball could be foul, but as long as that touches a bit right side of the chalk, it's fair ball. So we're 0-2 to Joseph.
And there goes our camera again. Runner takes off for second and third. So double steal, second and third. We're multitasking here, trying to hang on to our papers while we adjust the camera.
We're being the jack of all trades today, Steve.
And also trying to call a baseball game.
Maybe they'll call us to be an umpire next time.
That is one job I don't care to have.
2-2. Oh, that just...
Yeah,
That definitely probably did not feel good taking one.
now, and if he had been in fair territory, the runner would be out.
Yeah,
But they're saying that he was in foul territory.
that's why they'd tell you to stay on that side of the bag. But regardless, counts even at 2-2. Pitch. High. Ball 4, so that will load the bases with no
Now
outs for
batting
Central
number
Penn.
31, Gabe Kaufman.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get some other players into the game here with an 8-1
Now batting
lead and the bases loaded.
number 3, Darwin Cruz.
So Darwin Cruz coming in to get an at-bat here for Central Penn.
We saw Cruz pitch in the first game, finish that game off. And as a batter, he's been in 15 games, but 9 at-bats, 2 hits, so hitting .222 with 4 RBIs.
Ball inside, 1-1's the count. Again, everyone, we appreciate you being patient with us as we have to keep adjusting our camera. That's the backstop, and here comes the runner. Pitcher didn't get to the plate, didn't even cover. So the Knights pushed their lead now to 9-1.
Yeah, pitcher should have come in there and covered. They might have had a shot at home, but it was going to be close.
That gives some Central Penn now a commanding lead. And now, Steve, we're in 10-run rule territory again.
We definitely are. A base hit to the outfield here might make it 11-1.
3-1 count. Ball 4, so that'll walk the bit. And the run gets away. They call the balk. So Darwin comes back on the balk call. So Gabe scores.
Okay. A little confusion there.
It is. So that pushes the Knights lead to 10-1. So we're 1 run away, Steve, from 10-run rule.
Yeah, and that runner's at third base.
So a wild pitch could score a run here and walk it off potentially. 3-1. Swing and a miss. Had him reaching for that. So puts the count full. On deck for the Knights is Nick Walters in the on deck circle and works a walk. So Nick Walters up the bat. So Nick Walters coming in the bat for Tanner McCoy.
We saw Nick pick up a hit in the second game on Wednesday night.
He's out of Big Spring High School from Newville, PA, Steve. Pitch. High. So runners on first and third and no outs. And Bucks County is playing the defense in. So even a floater over to second base or anything would bring in a run. Popped up, right back to the catcher pitcher. They let it drop. No one's covering first. They have the runner coming home. And that's the game. That's the game. Central Penn walks it off with the 10-run rule. Central Penn comes up, puts 11 up, 10-run rules, Bucks County, and sweeps the doubleheader. And I guess, Steve, for the Weis player of the game, we got to do 2 for this game because you have David Thomas with that 3-run homer to spark the offense, but you can't take away Cam Smiley had an amazing game on the mound.
Yeah, he pitched solid, but that home run in the first inning and scoring 4 runs, really puts you in a good position there as a pitcher to be able to go out and throw strikes. And that's exactly what Cam did. He came out and he had 7 strikeouts, I believe. And Nick Joseph with heads-up base running there on that final play, and he's hurting a little bit. He got hit in the back, and there it looks like he kind of scuffed himself up a little bit coming home, but he's going to go get a little attention and celebrate a walk-off win here.
So with Smiley's line, everyone, he went 4 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. So once again, congratulations to our Weis player of the games, co-Weis players of the games, David Thomas and Smiley, or Cam Smiley, my apologies. I was thinking of the MLB pitcher. So with that being said, Steve, I want to take the opportunity to say it was an honor calling both games with you this afternoon.
I appreciate it, Parker, and again, we're thankful that the stream held up for us and the camera held up. It was just at different angles at times. But
and once again, we thank everyone out there that watched it on YouTube. So with that being said, from Parker, Rose and Steve Hassinger, have a nice weekend, everyone. Be safe and happy Easter.